All right, Pastor, here we go. In three, two, one.
What a mighty God we serve. This is the day the Lord has made. We rejoice and we are glad in it. The gospel always brings us good news, even during bad times. I will not hold your attention long. I ask that you would take the liberty of sharing this uh, message with as many people as possible. Tag them, ask that you text them, get them all online. Tell them that Pastor Bryant has something important and urgent that he wants to share. We're going to begin in just 2 minutes. I'm sorry to disrupt your evening of quarantining, but I want your rapt attention for just a few moments on tonight. I pray that everybody is doing well, that your spirits are high, that your family is safe, and that all is well. I'm believing by God's grace that we're going to come out of this and come out of it very soon in not too many days. If you'll see you're coming in, thank you so very much. Blessings to all of you. The peace of God be with you. Trouble don't last always. There's a bright side somewhere. One of my favorite songs is Late in the Midnight Hour. God is going to turn it around. It's going to work in your favor. I'm telling you, it's turning around for you. Hope that you were blessed and benefited from the National Day of Prayer. We had an amazing day tarrying at the altar at 12 noon. Some 60,000 of you prayed with us on today, and we are appreciative. I ask that you would pray for the men in our communities, the men in your family, the men in your city. Pray because this seems to be open hunting season for black men in America. And we need God to put a hedge fence of protection, and we need the government to be accountable when criminals are let loose and are not held responsible for their actions. I'm pleased and excited that we've made the first step towards justice because the thugs who ran down and murdered our beloved brother in Brunswick, Georgia, have just been arrested and they've been charged. Thank you for your prayers, for your support, and ask that you would hold on to your faith because this is just the beginning of the journey. It is not the end. We are not going to be finished waging war until a conviction has been levied on these two gentlemen. I'm glad that 2 months later that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation finally responded to the outcries of many of you on the media and to the strong people of Brunswick, Georgia. Thank you for holding up the fight and being relentless in pursuit of justice for our brother. Good evening to all of you. I have been in a tailspin over the last 24 hours. And a tailspin because everywhere I would turn on social media and on my phone, I was met with the words, congratulations. And immediately when I heard congratulations, I thought, wow, that's great. Somebody sees the work of the church. That in spite of the quarantine and churches being shut down, New Birth refused, even with closed doors, to close our eyes to abject poverty and food insecurity. For the last 7 weeks, we've been blessed to be able to feed 7,000 individuals in metropolitan Atlanta with fresh groceries that we've partnered with Trader Joe's, Publix, Panera Bread, Atlanta Food Bank, and donations from gracious people like you. I thought when I read in social media and blogs, the congratulations was that we were doing the work of Christ, feeding the hungry and taking care of those who were destitute. When I realized that the congratulations were not about us opening up the King's table, I immediately thought that maybe, just maybe, congratulations were in order, because we were able to secure some 5, 7, 10,000 COVID-19 tests. 10,000 COVID-19 tests. I thought people were extending and issuing congratulations to us, because we attempted to do it about a month ago, and was met with open rebuke, because there were those who said that they couldn't afford the laboratory processing fee. So we postponed it until every person could have access. So we were able to partner with a laboratory and with a testing site, both owned and operated by Black women. So those congratulations, considering that so many of our Black businesses are failing and finding themselves without any support, even with the stimulus package that evades minority businesses. So when it is that we opened up our parking lot this coming Sunday, Mother's Day, and said that COVID testing would be free to all, uninsured, underinsured, Medicaid, there will be no price, and you don't even have to register. That you just show up, stay in your car, and all of the African American healthcare providers who are volunteering will come to your car and test you within 3 to 5 minutes, when DeKalb is one of the most underserved communities in the state of Georgia. I thought that was the congratulations. Much to my shock and amazement, the congratulations was not about feeding 7,000 people, nor about providing free testing to some 7 to 10,000 people on Mother's Day, but reckless and irresponsible bloggers who went on with no facts, with no evidence, and might I add, with no truth, to make a baseless accusation that I had fathered a baby in April, May, February, January, here in Atlanta, and was hiding this baby from some mother in Atlanta or in my church. That, number one, is 1,000% untrue, 1,000% faulty. In days gone by, I usually don't say anything. Michelle Obama informed us, when they go low, we go high. If it was just for me, I could just withstand it, ignore it, and keep going. But I had to think about my daughters, who are now of the internet age, who have to read these falsities by cowards who would write things with no boundaries, no compassion, no understanding, but flagrant lies. I had to think about the church that I am pastoring, and grateful to pastor, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church here in Stonecrest, Georgia, who has gone through a battery of assault and attacks on the internet before I ever came. I made a commitment to God and to these people that I would never take them through a storm, through hardship, through embarrassment, through anything that would bring shame to the body of Christ. And I've held on to that covenant and to that vow to God and to this church. Had to think about what this would mean to the gospel, that people will in fact use this as a runway to believe that you can't outlive your past, because it is fodder for so many people who believe that if you made a mistake in the past, you'll keep doing them in the present and relive them in the future. God is a God who restores and transforms. We sing it often. Things I used to do, I don't do anymore. Places I used to go, I don't go anymore. And as a consequence, I stand not as somebody who has done everything right, haven't dotted all of my I's, haven't crossed all of my T's, But one thing that I can stand true to is that the man that I am now is not the man that I used to be. And all of it is accredited to God's saving power, his grace, and his forgiveness. There's somebody who needs to know you can outlive your past. It doesn't matter what it is that people think or what people say, but in the words of William Shakespeare, to thine own self be true. Amazingly, I read in physics when I was still a high school student that there was something about the force of momentum, whether it is a thing or it is a person. When you are moving with momentum, the only thing that can stop you is what's in front of you. What is behind you does not have the authority, the force, or the power to do so. Only what is in front of you. I am grateful unto God that the Lord is allowing and affording us the opportunity to do a great work in Atlanta. And I'm telling you that no power, no principality, no hater, no envy, no jealousy, no spite, no vindictiveness will be able to stop the momentum of God that is moving in my life and in the life of New Birth Church. I'm thankful for all of you who have extended prayers and genuine deep-seated concern for me, for my mental health, and even for my family. I'm grateful. Please, whatever you do, especially on this National Day of Prayer, please keep praying for me. I am not what I should be, but I thank God I'm not what I used to be. In the words of that great American writer, rumors of my demise have greatly been exaggerated. It's Mark Twain who said that. So those of you who were celebrating prematurely, hoping that the enemy was going to win, that character was going to crack, and ethics would somehow elude me, I'm sorry. But for the bloggers who in fact wrote this with no names, no evidence, no proof, and all the more, no truth, this blog is for you. I wanted to extend to all of you congratulations, because all of the bloggers who in fact printed, reposted, and shared this lie, congratulations, because in the next 24 hours, you'll be receiving an immediate letter from our attorneys, not just a stop, a cease and desist, but calling for an immediate retraction and a written apology, taking ownership for your carelessness and making absolutely no regard for truth. I'm telling you, truth crushed to the ground will rise again. And so for all of you who have ever survived slander, ever survived scandal, ever survived rumor, ever survived haters, ever survived being stabbed in your back, congratulations are in order. Millions didn't make it, but you're one of the ones that did. In other news, Saturday we'll be feeding 1,000 people who are in need of groceries. Somebody, please blog that. In other news, on Sunday, after service is over virtually, we will in fact be administering 7,000 to 10,000 free COVID tests in the parking lot of our church. No money will be transacted. All you have to do is show up. Congratulations. God is still in the blessing business. God bless you. Have a good night.